There we go.
Okay, so I want to tell you, this is the new Apothecary. We're still working with the colors. If you're a big Dark Angels fan, you know there are a couple different ways the Apothecary can go, but we're going to try the full wet one as well. But here he is. He's got the Narthessium. He's got the Apothecary outfit, backpack, etc. Now, the Apothecary...
Just 1 second. Is it possible to have I put mute and still have sound? J'ai mis mute. Ah, c'est pas lui. Attends.
Okay.
2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. Il n'y a pas de mute, je le vois pas.
Isn't it the big red button?
No, that's the mic mute.
Oh.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Oh, God.
Don't worry,
Okay.
I won't run you over.
So,
It was not mute, it was pause.
Oh, okay. So the Apothecary is the support class for the Space Marines. And so what that means is that you don't want to be running around with 40 Apothecaries in your army. What you want to do is you want to have enough to support everybody else. But the reason that the support class, the Apothecary is still a basic class, is that you need them all the time. And people like to play support classes and they like to take on that sort of role. So in that particular regard, we want to make sure that people can play as them whenever they want. So the Apothecary is available in multiple styles, as it were. Of course, everybody can customize their weapons, but because the Apothecary is a support class, then it means that he needs to be embedded into different types of groups. So he can be available with a bolt gun. You can also spawn a version with a chainsword, just not both at once. And so he'll always be not quite as good with the chainsword as the assault classes, and not quite as good with the bolt gun as the tactical classes, because those guys have accessories and specialties to make them better with them. But he has some other things that really make it work for him. So to give you an example, the way we've set it up is you have the Narthessium, and of course you have the option to use the Narthessium and the pistol at the
for
same
fans
time.
that are not super educated with the lore, what is the
Narthessium, I believe is the correct pronunciation.
Okay.
Okay, go on. Oh, sorry. What is a Narthessium, for example?
I know what it is.
That's a good point. That thing that's on his arm right there with the little chainsword, the little drill, there's also a little injector. That's the Narthessium, which is the Apothecary's main tool. It's used for fixing up Space Marines on the battlefield, and it's also used for taking out the progenoid gland from the Space Marine when they fall so that it can be made into a new Space Marine, basically. So for right now, we're dealing with the fixing up elements. We're going to look into... Oh, that poor chaos. We're going to look into ways that we can integrate the progenoid elements without it resulting in some horrible degenerate behavior like killing your friends to take their glands. That's something we'll be looking into later. So that
sounds very weird.
Killing your friends to take their glands? You know, it's the kind of thing that would happen in an MMO. Okay, so the Narthessium is a weapon, and it's a weapon treated in our game, so you'll be able to upgrade it and swap them out for different versions of the Narthessium. But the way that it works in the game is it's used for melee attacks, so you can swing the Narthessium around. And it's also used in place of consumables. So I'll give you an example. Human just took some damage from some source somewhere. And so I'm going to patch him up. So I use the Narthessium. That's a temporary animation. We'll be replacing it shortly. He gets patched up. But the thing is that as a player who's playing this support role, I don't want to have to be jumping around constantly and micromanaging everybody. So when you use the Narthessium on someone, they heal to full, but they also continue regenerating for a time. That way you can go back to fighting, shooting, things like that. If your friend calls for your help, then because their thing is run out or whatever, then you can come back and patch them up again. But this guy he's not going to be healing just 100% of the time. His role is to be a fighting medic. So he's out there, he's shooting, he's fighting, someone gets hurt, then he hops over and he helps them out. And so you have a bunch of charge of Narthessium healing charge. And the idea is that it's still treated like ammo or like consumables. You need to go back and fill it up once in a while because we don't want you to be able to just run forever. You need to get access to, like, bring a rhino along and you can fill up in the back of it, things like that.
One of the things I noticed is that in most MMO, I always, in a traditional MMO, I always play tank because that's what I like. I like to be melee, I like to be in front, and I like to drag aggro. But I never played healing. I've played DPS, but never healing because when I play a video game, I want to be immersed and I don't want to play the UI. And most MMO, when you're a healer, you don't even watch what's on your screen. You play the UI. But so how does the mechanic seems to be very immersive, where you need to go by the person and heal him.
And this is actually going to be different from faction to faction. But the style that the Apothecary uses is more similar to a game like Battlefield or games like that, because they need to actually go up and patch the person up. Stick near them. When a person gets low on health, actually, I can demonstrate. Let me just put Yvonne in my group really quick.
This is, by the way, what you're seeing. It's a dev tool, but it's a way to the grouping. If you see on the upper left, you see the grouping now.
So as you can see, when he gets low on health, he's got a little warning. That'll be triggering vocals as well, like I need health, things like that. We're also going to put it into the group UI, but that'll be your hint to go up and give him some help. Again, what temporary animation. What, the thing I just played?
No, yeah, when he does this.
Temporary animation, he's supposed to actually be going like this and using his PCM. Expect to see that very soon. Let's see. So, alongside this, we've actually made a change to the way that the rescue system works. So, as you might recall, previously when a character goes down, then they will be, when you rescue them, well, you can always just rescue them. A person hits 0, they go down on their knees and they start bleeding out. Anyone can come up and rescue them, and that's just fine. Now, that's the way, and this is, of course, something that we're going to be testing and iterating on. Right now, that's the way it works for the support class. As a support class, I can down this guy and bring him back as many times as I want. But the change we've made is that now I will have, why don't you go ahead and take me down? And then I want Human to pick me up. So I'm the Apothecary. I've been in battle. Someone has just downed me. So Human, if you could raise me up. There's a little bug with the animation there. Now I'm up. We're missing a bit of feedback here, but the next time I go down, I'm going to be dead. So go ahead and shoot me. Bam. Now I'm dead. I can't be resurrected. So what we're experimenting with is basically a way to make it so that the support class is sort of the linchpin there. If you want to take out a group, where does it come from? It's the piece that holds everything together, basically. So if you're familiar with games like Left 4 Dead and things like that, then what you need to do is when you get downed too much, then if you go down again, you die. And that's the sort of thing that we're taking here. But if you use any sort of healing on yourself, then you remove it. It's called the danger state. So if I reach 0 and a non-support class rescues me, I'm in the danger state. The next time I reach 0, I die. I don't go down on my knees.
So basically, when I get very, very hurt, you as my friend, another Space Marine, you can patch me up.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
But I cannot be patched twice.
Yes, exactly.
Then I need to be really healed. Not just patched up. So I can get patched up once and then I die, or I can get patched up once and be healed.
And then you're good.
And then I'm good, and I'm good for being patched up again second time? Okay. So
as long as you can remove the danger state from any form of healing. A first aid kit, an arthesium application, things like that.
Fantastic.
And you can remove it from yourself if you have med patch.
Yes, correct. The arthesium can also be used on self as well. Again, temporary animation.
Okay.
But the goal is that when you see a group of Space Marines in a unit, then you try to take out the support class. It's possible for someone in the unit to then pick up that support class, but he'd better heal himself really quick.
Okay.
But you target those guys. It's no longer that two tacticals going together can rescue each other infinitely.
No.
So this is the new system that we're going to be playing with, seeing how it feels, seeing if it gets the kind of results that we want. And I'll just show you one more little thing that we were demonstrating. The Narthesium, of course, you know, it's good for patching people up, but it looks like a pretty unpleasant weapon. So one of the things
if I go see the doctor and he comes out with an instrument like this,
what were we calling it earlier? The turkey carver?
Turkey carver? I would never call it that. Okay. One of the things the Narthecium does is that it actually is capable of applying a poison. So note that I've stabbed Human here, and his health is going down. We'll be adding an effect at some point. And at the moment, that just keeps going down until somebody patches you up. We're going to be playing with the options for like tuning that and deciding how we want to make it work. And of course, you'll have access to different ways to poison people as you upgrade your Narthecium itself. Okay, so while the Narthecium isn't as good as a full-on chainsword for just hacking people to pieces, it does have its own little bonuses.
I guess only another apothecary can remove poison from you.
Or you can use a first aid kit.
Or first aid.
Yeah, at least that's how it's currently being used. There's a few extra little things that we've been adding because we've been doing a lot of concentration on the sort of player experience. I'll give you an example. Katie, if you could shoot me a few times. Just want to put some focus on the new damage effects and things like that. Shoot me a little bit more. Got new blood. Oh god, no more. Oh, Human, if you can hear me, save me. Human.
There you go.
Human. Sorry. Yeah, as you can see, we put some new emphasis on the damage effects, so it's really clear like where these sorts of things are coming from. It's clear that you're taking damage, etc. We've been doing a lot of work with the camera, and we've been putting in a lot of new animations for movement, that sort of stuff. I'll just show you that actually we have a whole bunch of new executions in. They aren't 100% updated, but Human, if you could go give Katie an execution there, you'll note this is the new Space Marine version of the chainsword execution. It's a lot quicker, more efficient, and he gets the job done. We've also put in all sorts of cool camera shakes. I don't know if you can you guys hear the sound?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got a whole bunch of none of that, Human. Okay. You can hear a whole bunch of new clomping. We've added a lot more heaviness and weight to the attacks, all that sort of stuff. And those are the things that we're going to be concentrating on even more, making sure that just moving around, playing the game, and feeling it out is as great as it can be. So this is the new Apothecary. We're going to tweak those colors, make sure that every little bit is right, make sure there's a little symbol on the backpack, all that sort of stuff. But the Apothecary is going to be very different and play very different from the Chaos version. We'll talk about that some other time.
What are the for our fans that are noob in the 40k universe? What are the equivalent of the Apothecary?
Human was demonstrating a little bit of the new melee system that lets you charge attacks. We'll be showing you that hopefully in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
So what are the equivalent of the Apothecary for Chaos, Eldars, and Orcs?
The Apothecary, well, the support role is where it fits. The Aspiring Sorcerer is the Chaos version, and of course he's a Psyker. The Warlock is the Eldar version, which is another Psyker. And the Pain Boy, who I'm really looking forward to, is the Orc version. The Mad Doctor. So cool.
Did we show the poison, how long it takes to actually kill somebody? If you don't.
I showed it a bit, but that's going to be tuned.
Yeah,
like,
Okay,
Perfect.
cool.